I got some orders to make, and it's a nice Thursday. Let's see what's going on in the world. What do we want to talk about? Um, if you spent any time on social media over the last, I don't know, maybe month or so, if you went on like a TikTok or maybe an Instagram, there are people that were convinced the rapture was coming. I found out about this I guess yesterday because I was on one of the platforms, and I saw videos of people selling their houses and selling their cars, and because they were convinced that I'm trying to get the dates right. Was it like the 23rd or the 24th of September? Somebody started this thing and they were saying that the rapture was happening. and and then like yesterday I was hooked. I'm watching these videos of people reacting to the rapture not happening. Oh my gosh. If you have some time, you need to check that out. That's crazy because these are people that somehow got convinced that the the rapture is happening, and they were like, "Oh, we don't need any of these earthly belongings because the rapture is coming, and you don't need all this earth stuff in the next place, right?" And then it didn't happen. And gosh, I wish I knew one of these rapture people. I, I, I there are people that made other videos of. I mean, it could just be all a ploy to make content. Who knows? But I was just so jealous of the people that knew Rapture people, and they got these amazing deals, and it could be the Asian inside me, and I'm all like, oh my god, I wish I knew a Rapture person, because there were people that were saying like, oh, I got this car from a Rapture person, uh, pennies on the dollar, because this person was thinking, what do they even need money for? Because it's happening, and people were selling houses, and now I guess I don't know what they're gonna do because that's crazy. And just the whole idea of the rapture was happening, and nobody in like mainstream media was saying anything about this. It's a huge thing to me because I'm all like, what makes you think that you're gonna get raptured? And if you guys don't know what the rapture is, it's basically the idea that if you're like a good religious Christian-ish person, that you're gonna get saved while the rest of us burn on earth. That's the idea of the rapture, right? And yeah, if you there are people that were convinced that the rapture was happening, and they got rid of all their stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm just imagining like the people that believe this, and thinking like, what? Wouldn't the Pope say something about this? Isn't he supposed to know if this is happening? Like people thought that Jesus was coming back. Like I figured that the Pope would know, and he would make an announcement. But no, people are on social media and they're like, I don't know, Christine 85 said that the rapture is happening, and she made a convincing video about it. And there, it was a whole series of videos. Literally, it was like how to prepare, uh, what to do once you get to the pearly gates. Like, oh my god, oh, we're so doomed. Um, a lot of people. I saw some videos that were saying like, "Is America okay?" Because the idea of the rapture, to when I heard about it, like I said, I heard about this yesterday, and then I just started watching people's videos about it, and I felt sad inside. I mean, there was laughter, yes, but I also felt sadness because the idea of the rapture is like you don't need to worry about bills anymore. You don't need to worry about what's going on Earth or your life right now. Even though it's hard, it's it's out of your control. Things are gonna be okay. That's the basic idea to me, anyways. That like, hey, you know, it it's none of this Earth stuff matters, right? Uh, you're gonna get saved. That overwhelming debt that you have, forget about it. That overwhelming stress that you have about, the outlook on the future of, the world. Don't worry about it. I mean, if you spend any time on the news, it seems like we're on the brink of World War III. That's the other thing a lot of people are talking about AI taking over. Forget about that. Jesus is coming and he's gonna wipe all that away. Don't worry about it. You're just gonna sit back on a cloud and just chill. Don't worry about it. That's the idea of the rapture, right? Where it's kind of like all your problems, don't worry about it. It's all gonna get solved. And as the the fact that a bunch of people, I mean, it could be the Tide Pod generation. I don't know, but the fact that people believed that it was happening, and I don't know, it looked like a good chunk of people. I mean, I saw this one video. I think that was in Africa. Like there was a whole bunch of people just like in a field, and they were like looking into the sky, thinking that they were just gonna disappear or something. I don't know, but yeah, the fact that people believe that the rapture was happening, to me feels like it sends a bad outlook on people's like thoughts about what the future is gonna look like. Because I think about what the future is gonna look like, and I sometimes think it looks bleak. It looks hard because I don't know. It seems like the more it could be just maybe we just all need to like not pay attention as much. Who knows? But it seems like the more you pay attention to what's going on, the more bleak it sounds. But it could just also be people make it look bleak because that's what sells. That's what gets the clicks. Nobody cares if you say things are all right. They want to hear the doom and gloom. Everyone wants to hear the doom and gloom. Like, there's a problem that's bubbling underneath. Like, there's a bunch of little problems bubbling, and everyone just seems to be ignoring it. One problem that seems that nobody seems to care about, and I don't know if it's a real like. This is the part I hate about the current media environment. I can't tell if it's real or not, but if you consume a lot of like different media from different parts, one thing that people are talking about, and maybe someone that lives in one of these states or actually has experience and knows some farmers, they're talking about soybeans being a huge problem right now. This is just based on what I know about farming, right? On how the whole industry works. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But just basic idea of farming, from my understanding, is that they grow, you grow crops ahead of time, right? And it takes maybe a year or 2 years or a few months or whatever. You have to grow crops ahead of time to sell. And a lot of times what they do is they hedge it with future markets, right? You grow it and then you sell it later. And the big problem right now is, I believe what I saw was like 80%, 60%, whatever. There's a big percentage of the agriculture that gets grown here in America doesn't actually get consumed in America. Like we're just blessed. In a way, it's like a good thing. America is blessed with a lot of good farming land. But they use a lot of that land to grow crops to sell like you're trying to make money here, right? You use a lot of that land to sell crops that get used across the world. You need more customers to make more money. That's the idea, right? You could just grow crops enough for just to feed America, but it's just you're not gonna make enough money, you know? Like you're gonna make okay, but it's not big money, not big numbers, right? So this, I believe they said like a good chunk of the corn and soy beans that get grown here are used for overseas, and I guess there's a huge problem right now that a lot ever since the tariff war, and again, I don't know if this is a real thing or not. It could just be, you know, the media are making it seem like it's a bigger deal or not. Um, I need to go talk to some farm people. I guess I have a buddy I'm gonna hit up later and get his thoughts on it. He's actually a farmer that runs like a pretty sizable farm, multi acreage, like multi-million-dollar farm. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to chat with him and see where he's at because yeah, I don't know. I feel like the soybean thing. I've seen it. It's like some people talk about it on the news and whatnot. For some reason, when I hear about the people are not buying American soybeans and American corn ever since the tariff war, I don't know why it that concerns me so much. Because I feel like it's as it goes on, all those farmers are gonna go out, and then what's it's gonna cause like a whole trickle down where like I don't call it trickle down, I don't know. Those farmers are gonna need to get bailed out, and then that money comes from us, and then it's like it's gonna become a whole thing, right? I don't know. Like I said, it could just be some of the media heads are spinning it and making it worse than it has to be. But I don't know. It sounds concerning that nobody's buying soybeans and whatnot. Like I saw one guy. He said like it's like we only consume like 40% of the soybeans we grow in America, and the rest gets sent out. And if nobody's buying it, there's going to be a surplus, a huge surplus of soybeans. And then I was thinking about if that's the case, maybe they're gonna start lowering food prices because soybean gets used on a whole bunch of stuff, and corn gets used in a whole bunch of stuff. And they have if they have so much, then you know what's gonna happen, right? And this is why I'm thinking, okay, if they have too much corn, I wonder if that's when they're gonna start making like more sugar, like more corn syrup. I don't know, and they're just gonna start pushing out government corn syrup, and just everything's gonna get all sweet up. Like, did you guys ever hear the story about the cheese, government cheese? How that even became a thing? Supposedly, what happened was a while back. Uh, America wanted to get ready for just for hard times. Back when like plan pre-planning was the thing, where you planned ahead. We don't do that much now, but back when pre-planning was the thing, the government bought a bunch of cheese and then they stored it in like this giant warehouse. And a few years go by, and then they realize that hey, some of the cheese is starting to go bad, and we don't need all this cheese. And then they were like, "What are we supposed to do with this? We spent millions or whatever on cheese." And then they're like, oh, "What are we gonna do with? Oh, we know, government cheese." And then that's when they started sending out government cheese. And I wonder if that's what's gonna happen with like soy. They're gonna at some point, if this keeps up, I want to make sure this order's right. Machine's hot. Yep. If this keeps up, and if this is real, at some point, farmers are gonna get bailed out, right? Because you can't really have them go under. That would be bad. Because down the road, if something else happens, then you need a food supply, right? So you need the farmers to be there. And I wonder if the soy doesn't get sold or the corn doesn't get sold. I wonder if the government's gonna bail them out. But if you bail them out, you want something back. I want some of that corn, right? You want some of those soybeans. So then the government that means the government will take over, will take control, I guess, of some soy. I mean, that would suck if you just bail them out and you get nothing. I mean, isn't that what happened last time? But still. Okay, again, make sure these orders are correct. I got in trouble yesterday because I messed up on an order, and that's bad because I was like, money I just lost. But anyways, right, you gotta bail them out, and then I don't want to bail them out for free. I want some of that corn or some of that soy, right? And that means the government's gonna take control of a bunch of corn and soy. Like I said, we were talking about before. America itself only uses like 40 or 30% or whatever of the corn and soy that we grow here. The rest of it gets sent out, and if no one's buying it, they're gonna have tons because it's already on the field. It's growing already. Right, make sure the order's right. Don't mess up. And then so I want some of that corn, and I'm like, what are they gonna do with it? Cornflakes? Oh, okay. I wonder if this is actually the most effective use of corn. Because, oh man, this thing didn't. All right. Gotta fix that. I wonder if that's actually the most effective use of the corn. Is corn flakes. Because think about this. Okay, walk with me. Okay, corn flakes. All right, whatever. Okay, corn flakes, right? Uses corn to make the flakes and uses corn to make the corn syrup. Double corn. And then they just send out cornflakes to everybody. You get some cornflakes. You get some cornflakes. That's an idea. Oh, what are we gonna do? What is America gonna do with the soy though? I'm trying to think. What can America do with the soy? What would you? Sorry if it's loud and terrible here. I messed up on this order, and I gotta recut. We gotta recut, guys. All right. Don't worry. It's only gonna take a second. Boop boop. Okay. Okay. Recut. Yeah, I don't know. Going back to the rapture idea. The other thing that I find funny about the rapture idea is I like how on the social media they were trying to, maybe the idea is that they were trying to keep it hush hush and not tell anybody. Maybe space is limited, right? And I was like, what makes you think that you're gonna get raptured and I'm not? I thought that part was actually really funny. It's like the people online that were talking about the rapture. I mean, they were kind of talking about it at the same time. They were like trying to keep it hush hush. It's almost like doomsday prepper, where they think it's the end of times is coming, but they don't really like advertise the end of times is coming, just to make sure that everybody else gets stuck. Like, I think they take joy in the suffering of other people. I want to say, like, these people, because like they nothing would make a doomsday prepper or one of these rapture people more happy, more excited than the idea that they were right. I think that's their like that's like their wet dream right there. Like, especially a doomsday prepper. A doomsday prepper would love for the end of times to come, and they're the only one that prepped for it. Like, that would be, because like for years these doomsday people, they've been hoarding supplies or building bunkers and whatnot, and then people were like, "Hey, you're insane. Why are you doing this?" And they're like, the end of times is coming, people. The end of times." And they're like, "Sure thing, Grandpa. End of times." And no one ever takes them seriously. And then one day it happens. How? And nobody else is prepared. How excited is that doomsday prepper? they're they're gonna be beaming into the moon. They're so excited that the end of times is happening because they're like, "I told you, you should have got some more canned goods." Okay, but now I'm thinking, how silly would it be if the end of times comes and one of these doomsday preppers, you know, it comes and they're like, "I told you so," and they have all their canned goods. They've got maybe they have all their canned goods. They have like, I don't know, ammo. They have everything they need. Okay. They have everything they thought they need, but what happens if the rapture comes, right? And these doomsday preppers, they're prepped for everything, right? But and they got a bunker, they got canned goods, they got, I don't know, guns, they've got ammo, they've got MRIs, like MREs or whatever. They're set. Sorry, the trash guy's here. It's noisy. And it's a flood. Like, it's Noah's Ark flood. And they're like, "Oh my god, your bunker is useless." And they don't have a boat. They're in, like, I don't know, Kansas, Colorado, or wherever, somewhere in the Midlands. And there's no water around. And a big flood happens. That's how the rapture happens. Is everyone gets swept away in the flood, like Noah's Ark style, and they don't have a boat. I don't know why I'm like chuckling about that, but I feel like that is so funny. If a doomsday prepper, let's say in like middle America, and they've got all their stuff together, they're kind of like if you watch Tremors, if you remember, there's that guy that's got everything. He's got a bunker. He's got like canned food. He's a doomsday prepper. He's a typical doomsday prepper, and he's ready. I can't. I can't imagine him having a boat out there, especially if you watch Tremors 1. Right? Because they were out in the middle of nowhere. A small town out in the middle of nowhere. And let's just say a giant Noah's Ark level flood comes. He is not prepared for that. Like, none of these guys are prepared for any. I don't know why. I think it's really interesting if like the end of time comes and it's something that no one's expecting at all. like, I don't know, a giant hurricane comes or tornado, and it just wipes out all the people that are non-believers, and they're like, "Oh, why?" I don't know. Okay, done with my orders. Oh, oh, dang it! This one also got messed up. Oh, gotta repress this one too. Got too excited. We're gonna redo this one too. All right, I'll do this off camera. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. And if you're still here, I guess the rapture missed you.